What's up? What's up? Can you hear me? How you doing? How you doing? You should say, I love my life. Thanks for asking. Waiting for some beeps to pop on. Hear me? Can you hear me? Let's see. Whoa! Okay. Let's see here. Hey, Jessica Carlos. How are you doing? Brett, Jeremy. If you guys hop on to the live stream, do me a favor, click that share button. And in fact, I'm feeling so spicy tonight, I'm going to say click that motherfucking share button. It just feels smooth to say that sometimes. What's up, Jason? Sandaville, Michael, my man, Rebecca. Appreciate you guys being on here. Hey, Nick. So I had the most amazing conversation the other day with a lady named Michelle that was introduced to me from one of my mastermind partners. Hey, Catherine, thanks for the setup. Honestly, it's not new. I just haven't used it in a while. Apologize. I'm behind the times because I just stopped giving a fuck for just a minute. I wished I had a talk show. I'm so grateful for live streams so I can have a talk show, even if I'm the one person that watches this stream. So I had a conversation with Michelle last week, and I have felt for the last several months, maybe like 3 or 4 months, like I've been stuck. How many of you guys have ever felt stuck before? Put yes in the comments. And it's funny because other times in my life that I felt stuck, it's usually like I wanted to make more money. And yeah, I do want to make more money. That's always true. But that's not why I'm stuck right now. I make a lot of money. It's either been because of my health. I used to be stuck because of my health. I'm there now. I'm where I want to be. And I had this aha moment for just a second that I had never, ever imagined as I was talking with Michelle. And she's, is that vodka or water? Definitely not vodka because I don't drink. Even if I did drink, I wouldn't drink vodka. I would go with like Porter's Firehouse or like Jack Fire, something we're sipping on with some taste. Hey, Tomika, thanks for being on. So this aha moment popped into my cerebellum, flashed through when I was having this conversation with Michelle. Hey, click that share button, please. You'll qualify for a $5 Visa giveaway by my man Al Torrey, Mr. Worldwide. He's going to call you up and give it to you. I'll select the winners for everyone that clicks share. And she said, you know what? You know what you're going through, Colton, is the uncomfortable feeling. I was describing what's going on. She's like, dude, you're going through the uncomfortable feeling of being happy. And I was like, come again? Come again? She's like, yeah. So whether it was by choice to create your success or by accident, I had to create certain activities in my life to create certain results. And how many of you guys have been in the trenches before and you felt like there was no light at the end of the tunnel, right? You felt like I'm doing the work, but man, where's the results, right? I remember that time in my life where I was hustling, I was staying up late, I was working on the weekends, I was doing all that to make a bunch of money, and it was like, I felt like I was almost there, and then all of a sudden it was there, it was here, it was reality, and I started creating life more and more, not only on my terms, but I had created life on my terms. See, there's a difference there of creating. Creating is a present active word, whereas created was a past tense, like it's already been done. And I realized I live in an epic house, I do all this cool stuff, but like there's something not right, there's something not fitting. And I realized through this conversation, my entire life, I've been like habitually avoiding happiness, not because I wanted to, but just because I wasn't taught how to be happy, right? I have shared so many times with you guys, we were never taught how to manage our finances. True or true? Like, you never were taught that. You never taught health for the most part. Some of you probably were taught health. You were never taught how to have relationships, right? Like 3 things that totally govern our entire existence in going through public school, through college. Some of y'all paid a bunch of money through college to learn a bunch of shit. Some of you know what I mean? Your churches, parenting, like we weren't taught these 3 things. And recently I had the aha that I wasn't ever taught how to be happy. And whether you intentionally take the actions that cause happiness and allow happiness, or you do it by chance, by accidents, it still will allow happiness in your life. And that's what happened for me. Is there was a time in my life where, yeah, this would have been full of vodka, right? And then my drink of choice would have been water and vodka. That way you could hydrate and still get drunk at the same time. It was the craziest thing. I don't know why, but that's what I did, right? And I look at that experience in my life, and I'm so grateful for it. I had a shit ton of fun. But looking back at who I was in that time frame, is I was empty. I was alone. I was afraid. I was scared. I was broke, not only financially, but spiritually. Like, I was just a broken person. And thank goodness for my beautiful wife. If you guys don't know her, she was the one gal that helped me quit being just an idiot and get my shit together. So I didn't realize it at the time. But looking back to where I've become, I started taking these different actions that created success financially with my business, with my health, with my marriage, with my life. And not that I don't have challenges in some of these areas, but it went from being a complete loser to being a big winner. And I wasn't comfortable winning, right? Like, how many of you guys are comfortable winning? This was this idea that I started realizing. And so all of a sudden, then I would start to feel happiness, and happiness mixed with anxiety. Is because, all of a sudden now I didn't have to work 100 hours a week, or not that I ever worked that much, but 80 hours, right? I remember sometimes working 70, 80 hours a week. Now all of a sudden I didn't have to work with that time frame anymore. And so how then is it that a person can become comfortable being happy, right? How is it that you can go from the comfort zone to the freedom zone, from this place which is holding you back because you're afraid, to this place that you just walk into fear, and you just do it, you just be it, you just exist it, right? Well, it happens through repetitious activities, through repetitious action. Okay? So, for example, if you want to be successful as a business owner, consistently, one must repetitively create new customers for the organization while serving the current customers and creating more and more customers. Like, that is simple. And you do it through certain activities. Marketing and sales is 75% of your business. When someone asks what business you're in, the response is, I'm in the marketing and sales business. Thanks for asking, right? Like, it's that activity over and over that creates the result. So it's the same thing, that same idea of consistently being in that happy state that takes you from being afraid of being happy to that state of being extremely thankful for being happy, right? Happiness, simple. You don't have to get no validation through drugs, through alcohol, through money, through sex, through pornography, through a like on your Facebook, or did someone comment, or how many friends do I got, or whatever, right? Happiness comes from just being able to sit and be comfortable in your skin and being thankful for who you are and what you've become and what you're doing, right? Looking back, 8 years, 9 years when I was what I consider a loser, so to speak, I still could have experienced happiness if I would have just let all the shit go and just focused on this amazing opportunity that I have called life. Right? I want you to think about this right now. We'll talk about Houston. Houston's a very popular topic right now. All I've seen is photographs. A friend of mine, Thomas Tadlock, was like the one house in his neighborhood that didn't get flooded. His neighbor, he showed me pictures ripping out carpet where they had 2 to 3 feet of water in there, right? I'm not dealing with that stuff, dude. That sucks. That totally sucks. But even as sucky as it would be to have water flooded into your house, dude, there's people, they don't even have a house to fucking flood, right? They're living in a place that doesn't even have water flooding it. They're living in a drought with a lack of food, a lack of shelter, a lack of stuff in the belly, right? Think about this. There are people, now that I think about it, that aren't even fucking breathing here on Earth anymore, right? They're not even alive. And so when we can just get comfortable realizing that anything is possible, I mean, anything is really possible. I want you to think about this. There was a day you didn't exist. There was a day that a small little piece of sperm swam, impregnated your mom, and you grew inside of another human being. There was a day that some creature, some creator, some being just put a heart in your chest, started a beating, put an oxygen in your lungs and blood through your veins, and all of a sudden, dude, you're up here. You got some eyes growing, some ears to hear, eyes to see and ears to hear, and yet from very young age, and I don't think it's on purpose. I don't even know why that fucking happens. But we learn, I'll speak for myself, I learned how to be unhappy. And the majority of my life was about being unhappy. It was about being a victim. It was about how I had a leg down in life versus a leg up in life. I was like, fuck, dude, I got 2 legs, and here I am complaining that for whatever my excuse was, that why I wasn't good enough, or why I wasn't picked for the sports team, or why I didn't hang out with the cool kids, or why my parents couldn't afford to buy me a car, or whatever bullshit story, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Clayton, you know what I mean, dude. Tom, you've got some sort of shitstorm going up in your head that's keeping you from just enjoying the simplicity of being alive. What was that your way of saying there is a creator? Oh, fuck yeah, there's a creator. Yeah, man. How the hell would we fucking just come out of a peanut shell? Man, I that always blows my mind. Like, the moment that I stop and think about, like, I can look outside my window right now and I can see these amazing mountains. I live in Utah, lost to Wasatch Front. Amazing mountains, 10,000 feet up in the air. It's like trees, birds, like another one. I don't know if you guys have kids. You look at your child and you're like, what? There's something different here, right? And yet we get lost into this rat race of trying to get rich, trying to impress others with our body, trying to make this appearance that we're extremely happy, and yet by doing all this stuff, we're missing the essence of being happy. And the word is being. And I don't know how accurate this is, but I had read the book, great book, write it down. It's called the oh shit, I just forgot it, just left my mind, by Marcy Scheimhoff. Something about simplicity, the miracle of being happy, or the simpleness of happy, or something like that, right? And those aren't the exact, that ain't the name. It's something about happy. Check out Marcy Scheimhoff. But she said in that book, okay, that the idea of the pursuit of happiness, that when that term pursuit was used, that pursuit wasn't about I'm chasing out, you know what I mean? You think about, I gotta go chase some happiness today, right? Oh, I deserve it, it's my freedom, right? What they used that word pursuit as was being happy. So it wasn't as if, you know, happiness is this carrot that dangles in front of us. It was as if happiness was right here instilled inside of us. I want you to think about this. Growing up, when or how or who taught you? I want you to see this comments in the thing below. This new update on here is hard to read comments, by the way. Who, what, or where, or when did you learn how to be happy? Right? Think about growing up. You probably actually learned how to be unhappy. You probably learned how to be a little bit negative, a little bit fearful. And I'm still trying to decide if I learned this or if I just was naturally fucking born that way. It might even get a little bit religious, right? Maybe that was the curse, right, of Adam and Eve. All men are that, Adam fell that men might be, and all men are that they might have joy. They might have joy one day. What? So with that, that started thinking, well, maybe it's this whole idea. Maybe Adam and Eve really did exist, and because he freaking ate the forbidden fruit, now we were cursed with this idea of sin and unhappiness, and we're born unhappy, right? The Catholics teach you that your kid guys get baptized right away to be clear, or they're going to hell if they're not, or some stupid shit like that. I don't know if that's true or not, but my point is, when is there going to be people teaching us how to be happy? Well, now. It's right now. It's you, it's me, it's each other. It's by coming together as a community, and it's serving other people. And it's for just 1 second remembering we're alive right now. I don't know anyone there's I think 10 or 12 or something people on this stream, including me, 13 of us. We're experiencing this moment right here together, okay? And yet we're alive. We're alive. That right there is enough to say, oh yeah, you know what? Things are pretty fucking good right now. I'm alive. You know, it could be your house is 3 feet underwater in Houston. Could be that you don't have food or water or electricity for the next couple weeks in Houston, right? Or worse, it could be that you're the dude that didn't have the house that's literally living under a bridge during that storm in Houston. I guarantee there's homeless people in Houston, right? Hey, I guess at least they're not going to have to pay a huge bill in fixing their home. Let's look positive here. You know, they've got some positive going on. There is so much to be happy about. So much to be happy about is, but it's accepting and allowing to be happy. And this was such a huge aha for me, right? Like the fact that yes, I can be happy. It's okay to be happy, right? I was waiting for people, someone, I don't know who, right, to give me permission to be happy. And it's like, why do I gotta wait for someone to tell me that I can now be happy for my accomplishments? And it wasn't even the fact of what I've accomplished in the sense of my ego, right? My awesome house, my sweet car, my bank account, the money that flows into me. Like that shit is so ego, right? So fucking ego. And yet I pretend is what brings me happiness a lot of times. But what really brings happiness is just the pure fact of like, holy fucking shit, I exist on a planet with 7.5 billion people and I'm alive. And everything else is all fucking this creation in my head, that the stress, the worry, the doubt, the fear, the anger, the jealousy, the hatred, the you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about, because we've all fallen into this rut of going and doing the same thing over and over again, thinking that the harder we work or the faster we go, or that one day we're gonna reach this little island, this little oasis where everything is gonna be fucking okay. And it's like, what if it already was okay? What if we were already on that island? What if it was this moment right now, everything was okay? And then all of a sudden, that thought of the future, that thought of the past, this story in the head, it just disappears, it just evaporates, and it's like, happiness. It's simple. It's here, it's now, it's in the moment, it's being a part of the present world, it's part of your gift of being alive. So, next time you feel uncomfortable being happy, fuck it, be happy anyways. The other way you can look at this is, you know what, I messed up, I made a mistake. How quickly can I get up, and what can I learn from this situation so that I can correct and continue and go get my next appointment set? One of the questions I want you guys to always ask yourself is, what's the next important thing for me to get great at? That's one question. The other question I want you to ask is, what can I learn from this mistake?